Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams, and my name is Sandra. And today we have a tarot pick-a-pile card reading on the next 6 months. So these will just be messages and ideas of what's going to come up in the next 6 months for you. And today, because it is such a big topic, we have 7 piles to choose from. And we will get to those in just a moment, but I did want to just remind you all that if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, to please do so. Also hit the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos when they come out. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and also leave comments in the comment section. All of these things help YouTube know what videos to share with other people and helps the channel grow, so it's greatly appreciated. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there will be a link in the description to PayPal. And so here we go. We've got 7 piles to choose from here, and I put a stone on each one of them. This would be pile 1 here, and this is the one that kind of has kind of a peach clear type stone on it. Pile 2 has a light blue stone. Pile 3 has a reddish stone. Pile 4 kind of has a yellow colored stone, almost gold. Pile 5 has a black rainbow metallic stone. Pile 6 has a brownish red and tan kind of striped stone on it. And pile 7 has a clear rainbowy colored stone. Okay, so those are your 7 piles to choose from. Remember, this is going to be on what is coming forward in the next 6 months. And so we're going to give you a moment or two to reflect, and there will be timestamps in the description for your pile. You are welcome to choose more than one pile if you are drawn to do so. Sometimes there are messages in more than one for particular people. Also, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you run across this video, it will pertain to the next 6 months from that time period. Okay, we'll see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys are the ones who chose kind of the light pink peachy colored stone here. All right, now remember, this is what we messages for the next 6 months, or what we might look forward to, what might come up, that kind of thing. So let's see what we've got. We've got Healer of the Ages, Merriment, Ship, the 10 of Wands. Okay. We've got the Strength card, the Queen of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the Lovers. Oh, this is beautiful. The Knight of Cups, the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Cups. Move these up just a little bit. Give us a little bit more room here. We have more cards than normal because this was such a far out reading. I wanted to make sure we have plenty of cards. We have the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Whew. All right. Well, we have 2 10s here. And so automatically I kind of think over the next 6 months, something is going to be coming to completion. Something that a phase of your life is going to come to completion, or you're going to finish a project. You're going to maybe you've been working on your house and now it's complete, or you're going to finally be able to complete that purchase that you wanted, or whatever your life is focusing on for the next 6 months, whatever it is that you have been pertaining to. For some reason, I keep thinking houses keep popping up into my mind here a lot. But there's going to be I think a union for some of you. I think there's going to be a marriage, and that has to do with the home, maybe. But because I kind of see that with that, and I also kind of see that also with this merriment card here. But basically, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment with, family and emotional things that you care about, and pretty much having everything you would like to have come to fruition. And then the Ten of Pentacles is also kind of a completion card as well, and it deals more with your earthly desires, your finances, your business, those kinds of things. So with these other cards, with the Lover and the Merriment card here, that kind of, almost shows a couple here, and it almost looks like they're at a wedding or whatever. I almost see that maybe the whatever you have, there's going to be a wedding. I think for some of you, you're going to actually be able to complete your family, bring your union together, get it together. If you have your family, I think some of you are going to be able to complete a purchase of your home, be able to do your move into a home, that kind of thing. I really feel like this has to do a lot with home and family and unions, and that's going to be the big focus over the next 6 months, is your home and your family and all of the things that deal with that. We also have a lot of creativity cards going on here, and things that you have a lot of passion and energy for, so I still feel like that has a lot to do with your home and family. And so I also think I'm getting a lot of things jumbling up all at once, so just give me a second here. Okay, I'm going to try and complete a whole thought. Okay, I still feel like a lot of this is going to have to do with your home, your family, marriage, unions, maybe having a birth in the family, but I think most of it's just completing a family, or getting a new home, or embarking on your journey with your new partner, or that kind of thing. I see a lot of emotional fulfillment coming forward here, but there might be a little bit of travel involved. But mostly I see these two cards, the Ship and the Knight of Cups, as some sort of news, or somebody's going to bring something to you in the mail or through a long distance. Somehow you're going to get something through long distance. It could be over the internet. It could be through snail mail, because I kind of almost get that energy with the Ship card here. But I really, really feel like there's going to be some sort of message, or something that's, an offer. But I really feel like it's going to be a message. Might be a proposal. See, I keep feeling like there's a lot of union marriage stuff going on here for the next 6 months for a lot of you. A lot of you is going to have a lot to do with that kind of thing. It's interesting here how we have Healer of the Ages, because this looks like, Jesus Christ almost here, and very spiritual. And we have a lot of other spiritual type cards here. We have the Six of Wands and the Five of Wands, the Queen of Swords, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we also have the Ten of Wands, which is another completion card here. So you had the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. So something in your life, something you've been working towards, a goal that you have been having, is going to be reached. You are going to reach that goal within the next 6 months. Whatever it is that you've been working really hard towards, whatever it is that you, and for some of you this is work related, because the Ten of Wands is kind of a work card, gathering up all the wands and lugging them back. It's also kind of almost a burden card, like there's been a lot kind of put on your plate, kind of a lot that you're carrying, and that might be true for a good portion of the 6 months, but by the end of it, for sure, you're going to be able to let go of that burden that you've been carrying. And the Six of Swords shows that as well, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But we have the High Priestess and these other Wands cards here. We have the Five and the Six. Now the Five kind of shows a little bit of change, maybe, because a lot of fives do, but this particular 5 and 6 together just shows the progression you're going to be going through. At first you're going to be dealing with some things that are a little bit more difficult, a little bit more you have to work through some problems, or a lot of things. But I really feel like too that these Wands cards and the High Priestess together, and then this one's card too, I feel like they all kind of are showing a spiritual growth for many of you. I feel like many of you are going to be able to tap into your spiritual energies and tap into spirit itself. You're going to be able to tap into that energy of the universe, because I think that that is something that you all have needed. I think, and that's going to help with these other issues of being able to get your emotional fulfillment, because I think if you can tap into spirit energy and be able to listen to what spirit has to tell you, and kind of do that, you're going to be able to make the progression. And that's also going to heal something within you, because that healer is with you, that healing spirit is with you. And I think that some of you have been dealing with some things that have maybe been a little difficult. We do have the Six of Swords here, which is showing that you guys have been on a journey where you've had to deal with some aggression and some issues and some problems. But the Six here is, they're on that journey to get away from that, and that's what your next 6 months is about. Your next 6 months is the journey to get away from the burdens that you felt. You're going to be able to complete those burdens, get away from the strife and the other things that might have been going on, and the obstacles that you've had to face to be able to get to where you wanted to go. You're going to be able to do that, because these cards, you know, the merriment and all of these things show that you can do that, that you can go on that journey and get there, because you have the healing energy now to be able to heal from these things and be able to do that. And the Six shows that journey so much. You're going to be able to go forward on that journey. So yay! So if you've been on this where it's been really rough and really tiresome, and you've been on this emotional and spiritual roller coaster almost, and you know, it's drained your energy and all that, I really feel like you're going to get your spirit back, your fire, your passion, and other things. And that is shown with these cards here. We've got the High Priestess, and she is so magical and has so much knowledge and energy, and you guys have reached that point now with all of these wands energies. You guys are able to reach that. We have the Strength card too, and that goes so well with the Healer card, and this is showing strength. You notice how, you know, kind of taming this little doggy here, but in this particular card, I really see it as gaining strength from your family, from your people that you're closest to. I feel like that strength is where your strength is going to come from. But we also have the Infinity symbol here, which is another spiritual type of energy. And I really feel like you need to tap into spirit. You need to meditate. You need to watch other YouTube videos on different, you know, get different messages from spirit, because I think if you listen to those messages, you can really go through this next 6 months and reach and attain this emotional and other, you know, financial gains or other gains that you would have earthly that you'll want. We also have the Queen of Cups, and that's another good emotional card. The Queens and Kings, you know, they sometimes will represent people in our lives, or you know, just in general be the general representation of their suit. And the Cups cards is the emotional suit, and the Queen has so much compassion and warmth and kindness and intuition, and you do have intuition also with the High Priestess. So I do think you need to follow your intuition and what Spirit is guiding you to do through your intuition. The Queen is also a healer and a support, so know that you have healing people in your life. You have those healing energies with the Healer of the Ages and the Queen of Cups. You have people that will heal you from these wounds, these battle wounds, these things that you've gone through recently. You have the healing people around you to help you with that, and that could be your partner here, or that could be you know, the Knight of Cups, another emotional card as well. But he is just full of compassion and graceful and tactful, and he's, you know, that kind of thing. But he's also very creative, He's artistic, and there is a lot of Wands energy here, so that's a more creative energy and more artistic type of energy. So maybe the person who is in your life or is coming into your life, if they're not already there, is going to be an artistic, compassionate soul. They're going to be somebody that has a very artistic talent, creative. They might even have creative ways to get you to move along in this journey through the next 6 months. They might have that spirit to be able to, because they're so full of energy and creativity and spirit in of themselves, that they can help move you forward because they have so many cool ideas, unique kind of things pop up, that kind of thing. We do have the Queen of Swords as well. Now, the Swords energy is dealing a little bit more with the strife and the toughness, but when you get to the Queen, though, remember, she is in charge of her whole kingdom. She's in charge of everything. And the Swords person, she's very independent. I feel like you guys are going to gain your independence throughout the next 6 months, because that's also what this journey is about here, too. It's not being tied down. It's not being forced into a situation that you didn't like or didn't. You're going to gain your independence. That's what I see with the Six of Swords card. I see that journey of, also it popped in my head too with the ship card here, that you're going to be able to, people took these kind of ships over to America to get away from the trials, tribulations, and problems of the old world, and to see a new life, a new world. And that's where you guys are heading. You guys are going to make that journey. You guys are going to be able to make that journey to do that. You're going to gain your independence to be able to do that, because that's what I see here with the Queen of Swords. That's what these swords energies are all about. So I really think that these messages are showing you guys are heading towards your independence, your emotional happiness, and you're on that journey. And that's what the next 6 months is going to be about. It's going to be about healing the wounds from the past. It's going to be about completing your journey towards what you're wanting in life, and what you're like to do is releasing your burdens, the things that have been weighing you down, the things that have been making it hard for you to go forward. And then we have that wonderful celebratory partnership energy, the wonderful lover energy. Like I said, some of you guys are going to get married. You're going to start a home together, a family, those kinds of things. It's going to be very emotion. I see a lot of emotional happiness. You guys are on a journey over the next 6 months towards your emotional happiness, and that's so exciting. I'm so happy to hear that. Because I really feel like you guys have, been on a little bit of a rough slope for a while, a little bit of a rough journey, hard seas, things being real rough there for a bit. But I really feel like you guys are heading and on that journey over the next 6 months. It could take most of the 6 months to get there, so don't expect it right off the bat in the first couple of weeks or something. But you are definitely on that journey towards that goal. You are definitely going towards that whole releasing of your burdens, getting away from what you've gone through in the past, and being able to be on top of it and have your independence and your emotional strength and happiness. So that's definitely where you're heading over the next 6 months. Okay, well, that was interesting reading. I hope you got some good messages out of that. Remember to hit the thumbs up, share with your friends and family, leave comments, and we'll see you for future videos. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You guys are the ones who chose the light blue stone. And remember, this is on the next 6 months, messages for you and what you can expect and that kind of thing. So let's see what we've got. We've got strategy. Okay. And birds. Oh, they're little loving birds. We got thought. Okay, a lot of thinking things going on here. The Tower. The Hanged Man, the Ace of Swords, okay, the King of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Seven of Wands, okay then, the Two of Cups, the King of Pentacles. I need to move things up just a little. We have lots of cards today. Let's see if we can fit everything in. Okay, we have the Death card and the Nine of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, what came out just automatically is you guys are in for a major upheaval, change. A lot of stuff's going to change, and it's going to be a good change because it's going to give you a different perspective. That's what the Hangman's going on here. It's going to get you out of a predicament you were in, or it's going to change your idea and your perspective, and so it's going to help you gain a new perspective and be able to go forward. But for a while, you guys are going to be going through some things. Some major changes are going to be happening. Some things are going to come to an end, possibly, probably. But we have a lot of possibility here. It's really interesting because, okay, the Death card usually means endings, but it's a good kind of ending because things are going to end, and then so you can move forward and get renewed and regenerated. And I see that too with the Ace of Swords coming forward here. But we also have the Tower card, and it's always interesting when the two show up in the same reading, because to me that always shows that it might be a sudden change. It might be an unexpected change or something kind of quick, something you did not know was going to happen, but then it does, and then you're like, oh wow, okay, I guess I have to go this direction now, or I have to do this, and that's where these two cards are kind of coming from. And so I think that when that happens during the next 6 months, it's going to kind of give you a whole new perspective on your life. It's going to help you look at things slightly differently. We do have some 5 energies and 7s. And with those, whenever I see 5s and 7s, I always kind of see some topsy-turviness, some upheaval, some things. And we've already seen that with the Death card and the Tower card. So we already know things are going to have some upheaval, things are going to change and do that. But with these particular ones that showed up, it's great because this particular 5 of Swords, sword cards deal a lot with what is in our head, what we're thinking of, our anxieties, our worries, or things that are going on. It deals a lot with our thoughts and what's in our heads. And this particular 5 of Swords, everything's up in the clouds, and there's dragonflies and butterflies, and it's up in the clouds. So with this being a little less of a fighting, strife kind of energy, it's a little bit more, and that's kind of where I see kind of the Hanged Man and things, kind of seeing things from a different angle too, is you're going to be able to, because of this change that's going to happen, is you're going to be able to see things in a new light and in a different way. You're going to be able to go, oh, wow, okay, I didn't think of that. I didn't know it was going to go that direction. I didn't know I could look at things that way. I didn't know that life could be this direction, or that this situation could go this direction rather than that other direction. So it's a way for you to see things and be able to go, wow, okay, things are different than I thought, but it's a new direction than the way I've ever thought of it before. So you're going to get a new outlook on things and a new chance on things, which is great. And that's where the Hanged Man comes in too. Because we also have the 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Now, 7s are a little bit more of a spiritual energy, a little bit more dealing with your intuition, a little bit more of what higher power might have for you. So I really feel like this change is kind of a fated change. It's something that needs to happen for you to move forward. It's something that was kind of just written for you in the cards, basically. It was going to happen, and there wasn't much you could do to stop it. But once it happens, honestly, you wouldn't have wanted to stop it, even if you thought at first you would have, because it's going to put you in a better place. It's going to, like I said, give you that better perspective, give you that better thoughts on the world, and different way of looking at things. And so this is going to be a change that you may not have wanted at first, or didn't know you wanted it because you had no clue. But after it happens, you're going to realize, wow, this was really good for me. This is what I really wanted. And so it's going to happen during the next 6 months at some point in time. It's interesting because we have the Pentacles and the Wands. The Wands deals a lot with what you really care about. It's that fire, passion energy. And then Pentacles deals with earthly matters. It deals a lot with our finances and our health, and businesses, and our body image and things like that. So for some of you, this may be health related. I do feel like that is the case for some of you. For others of you, it may be business or career related. And a very few of you, it may be relationship related. But for the most part, I think it's more dealing with either your health or finances or your business. I kind of get that feeling along with it. There is this Two of Cups energy here, which usually is a coming together, but I kind of feel like this might be more of the truce type of energy, or more of a peacemaking energy, or a coming together of ideas. And this is where these cards come in. This card is a communication card. You see how they're communicating together. They're talking together. This is a communication card. It's also a Pentacle card. It's another Seven of Pentacles. And so I'm seeing as how you need to come up with a strategy and think. You need to be thinking through this problem. After this problem comes about, it's not a problem, it's a change. After this change comes about, after your life kind of gets tipsy-turvy, and major shift happens, after that comes about, because you have a new perspective on things, and because you're looking at the world differently, it's time to come up with a strategy and communicate with other people, or with, could be somebody in your life that you need to come up with a truce to. But it's all about communication. This is all about communication and strategy. Strategy, you notice how they're writing down in their journal. They're like, okay, I'm going to do this and that and the other. Maybe you guys need to write out a vision board or journal, or come up with, okay, this is what's happened. Now what do I need to do to go along and move forward, or take advantage of this situation, and go and strategize? And it's going to take some thought and some thinking, and that's where the Seven of Wands is coming from too, because that deals with getting prepared and getting ready for whatever's to come. And that's what this strategy and communication needs to be all about. I feel like it's writing communication, though, not so much talking. I feel like writing in a journal, writing stuff down, a plan, a list, that kind of thing would be very useful to you. Because we also have the Ace of Swords, and like I mentioned earlier, I feel like the Hanged Man is going to pull you into the Ace of Swords. I really feel like once this major change has happened, you now have a new opportunity come forward. New ideas come to your head. That's where the strategy, the thought, all of these come into, new ideas will come into your head. You'll have new knowledge, new power. You'll be able to take charge. You'll be able to see through any deceptions, any problems, any other things, because you're able to look at things from a different perspective. And so now you're able to cut through anything, cut through any of the crap, any of the stuff that's out there, any of the disillusionment, anything you wouldn't have been able to see before. You're going to be able to, because you have that swords. We also have the Nine of Cups, and that is so much a wish fulfilling kind of card. And so that to me is beautiful, because I kind of see with the King of Pentacles and King of Swords of you being able to fulfill your wishes. What you're thinking of, you're going to be able to fulfill that, because we have these king energies. These might be people that come into your life that help you with this, but I really just feel like they mostly deal with just this whole energy of reaching the top of what you want. Swords is your thoughts, your ideas, like I said earlier. So reaching the king is like, okay, you're able to cut through anything, but now you've got the king, and the king is full of reason and authority and integrity, and he's very serious and strict. And so you can take these thoughts and get very serious with them, and do a lot of great things with them. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which deals with our earthly desires and things that we want, and like I said, our finances, our health, our business. And now we've got the King. So when we get to the King, he, is full of abundance, and he's very ambitious, and he's kind, and he's it's a business. So I really feel like for a lot of you, this is business or career related because of the King of Pentacles. And I feel like you might get either a new idea for a business, or if you lose your job, or if things change in your job drastically, you're going to be able to take that and get a new idea, get a new thought, new ideas, and be able to run with it, and be able to be more prosperous and have more abundance than you ever did before, because you're going to be able to come up with your strategy. We do have the Two of Pentacles, which kind of goes along with the Two of Cups as well, in that this might take a partnership. You might need, and I kind of see the partnership with the communication with the birds here too. You might need a partnership to help you with this, or somebody might offer to help you, or be a partner with you. And I kind of see that might be the case. That might help you along. So for a few of you, that means something too. If that resonates with you, then I want you to run with that. But otherwise, that message wasn't for you specifically, because I don't see that as being a whole collective message. That's more like for just a few of you. That if that feels right to you, if that is, you're like, oh yeah, partner, cool, that'll work. Okay, it may not feel right to you yet because this major change hasn't happened yet. So when this major change happens, think back to this reading, come back and look at it again if you need to. But think about it, and then if that resonates with you, that you need to go form a partnership, or if somebody offers you a partnership at that time, or you want to communicate with somebody and say, hey, let's form a partnership. If that resonates with you, that's when you should do it. Like I said, it may not resonate with you right now because you haven't been able to look at things from a new perspective yet, because this hasn't happened yet. This change, so these things may not be resonating with you a whole lot yet because you haven't gotten there, but it is coming, and just be a little bit prepared for it. Just know, but it's a good thing. It's going to be a really good change, and you're going to be able to look at things from a whole different angle, and you're going to really like that it's going to be, and it's probably going to help you out better than you've ever done in the past. You're going to be able to go, well, okay, this seemed like a really awful whoa moment, but wow, now look at this. I can go do this. I can go do that. Think about it. If you've lost your job, let's say, as an example, you might decide, oh, hey, I can finally go start the business I always wanted to do. Okay, I can finally go forward and do what I really wanted. So yeah, this seemed like a really bad thing, but now I've got the opportunity to do something I haven't, been able to do. So that might be one way, or something of looking at it. But it's going to make sense to you when it comes up. You're going to be able to understand how you're going to be able to look at things differently. Just remember, when this happens, to look at things from a different angle, different perspective, and then that's going to help you move forward. Communication's very, very, very important, and having a strategy and a plan is also going to be important when that comes up. Okay, I think that's all I have for pile 2 today. I really hope that these messages are useful to you, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, leave comments in the comment section. We'll see you for future videos. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the reddish stone. Okay, remember, these are messages and things that are coming up in the next 6 months. So let's see what we've got here. Broken heart. Oh, goodness. Okay. Bear. Money. Lots of interesting things going on there. The Knight of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. The Three of Cups. The Nine of Wands. The King of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles. Wow, lots of knights going on here? Okay. The Fool card. The Knight of Wands. The Three of Swords. Interesting. Wow. Okay. The Star card. The Queen of Wands. And the World card. Wow. Okay then. Okay, give me just a moment here. I need to kind of reflect on these just a minute. I've got a few things coming into my head, but there's some other stuff here. I'm just not sure where this is going for just a second here. Yeah, okay. We've got... It's interesting because we have several Knight cards, which kind of struck me right when they came up, but... it was interesting too because the Broken Heart and the Three of Swords cards came up at the same time, which kind of emphasizes this just a little bit. I really feel like at some point during the next 6 months, somehow or another, something is going to be rough on you. It's going to, it could be romance related. It might be actually, but it might be also, because there are quite a few pentacle energies here, so it might actually be financially related as well, but I think for a lot of you it might be romantically related just because of the heart things showing up. I feel like some of you guys are going to have a broken heart. You're going to either break up with whoever you're with right now, or whoever you get with in the next 6 months. It'll be short-lived and then you'll break up. Because I feel like that might be the case for some of you. There might be kind of a quick little romance coming forward here, because we've got the Fool card where that kind of shows maybe rushing into something, and some of you might have already kind of rushed kind of quickly into this relationship, and I don't want to make anybody scared or worried or upset and go, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to be with anybody because I'm going to get hurt. Don't look at it like that. If it feels right at the time, it's definitely important to go ahead and go forward because it'll be important in your life for whatever reason. Remember that. So, because even this card here, yeah, you might have a broken heart, but you always get stronger because of it. So, and also, we've got to live in the moment. We've got to enjoy the moment. So, if you're going to have a broken heart over the next 6 months, I don't think that's going to be the whole entire 6 months. I don't think it's going to cover your whole 6 months. I don't think that's going to be what your whole 6 months is about. I just feel like that's at some point going to be something that you're going to contend with and deal with. I think you might run headlong into either a love relationship or a financial relationship. Like maybe you decide to play the stock market and something happens with it or whatever, because we do have money going on here, and we also have some pentacles. But I really feel like money-wise, things might be going pretty well for you in the next 6 months, actually. So I don't think most of the heartache will have to do with money necessarily. Matter of fact, from what it really looks like, is monetarily, things look like they're going to go very well in the next 6 months, because we have a lot of cards that kind of show that. Now we have Knights here. Knights to me are always kind of the ones that go out and do the fighting, go out on the new adventure, go out and get the spoils of war, that kind of thing. And you have 2 Knights of Swords, so those are definitely the fighters. Those are the ones who are ready to go out and do that. They're very assertive, they're direct, they're impatient, they're daring, they're ambitious, that kind of thing. So this might actually represent the person who breaks your heart in whatever way, because if they are ambitious and assertive and direct and daring and those kinds of, and perfectionist, if they are that kind of individual, if this is for your career or for your love life, either way, that might be what kind of makes things hard on you or whatever, because of just that energy that they bring to the relationship might be difficult for you. But then we also have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Now these, to me, we have the Knight of Wands as well, and the Knight of Wands is very much a wish fulfillment kind of card in a lot of ways, because they're prepared. They have gone through and planted their wands. They have their wands available. They're strong and they're ready. Wands deal a lot with the things that we really care about, and that we're, also being impulsive. So that might go along with the Fool card here too. But I really feel like you might have some wish fulfillment going on here. You might actually, after you go through some of this here, prepare yourself, kind of go, okay, I'm going to be in a fighting stance now. I'm going to go out and just take on the whole world now. And you definitely have the energy to be able to do that. You definitely have what it takes to do that. The Bear card, think about it. Bears are full of strength and power and greatness, okay, and responsibility. So I feel like you might. It's also a Wands card as well. It's the 10 of Wands, which, going from the 9 to the 10 is great because those are kind of the completion card energies. And so then that shows that, you progress along and you're going to get strong. I see these are very strong cards. This person's very strong in what they've done, and the Bear is very strong and has lots of strength. And so by you being able to do that, like I said, I think whatever heartache you're going to have go on here, I don't think it's going to last very long. I think it might hurt for just a little bit. Your heart might be broken. You might go, oh my gosh, and like I said, if it's career related, maybe you lose your job, something like that. But if it's romance related, I kind of feel like this might not have been a very long-term romance. And so, yeah, your heart gets broken because you really cared about him, you really wanted to be with him, whatever. But then you're able to just move on and go forward and be stronger because of it, because that's what these cards show. You have that strength. It's going to give you that strength, and you're just going to be able to go forward. Because we also have the Pentacle card here too, the Ace of Pentacles. And the aces are always the new starts, new beginnings, rewarding kind of thing. And this deals with your earthly desires, money, finances, and that. And then we've got the Knight. The Knight is coming back with the spoils of war, or as an offering. And so I feel like you're going to be able to go out and just be successful, just go and do it. And that's where the money card comes in too. I really feel like over the next 6 months, as things progress, I think money might do very well for you. I think you might be able to go forward very well money-wise. And it's great because we have the Knight of Wands too, and he's full of courage, and he's kind of a free spirit, and so whatever. So I kind of see that along with these strength energies here is he is one who's ready to go out and be an adventurer, a kind of thing. He's got that courage, and I think you guys have that courage to go out and make this money. We also have the 3 energy, and that's a creative energy, and so are the Wands energies. And we also have the Star and the Queen of Wands. So I really feel like you guys are very creative souls. You have lots of creativity flowing through you. You have intuition. You are able to, wow, you're very passionate about things, and that might be why you get a broken heart, because you might run right into things very passionately. Everything that you do in your life, you're very passionate about, and you put your full effort into it. Okay, and that's not a bad thing, because that means you have the courage to just run into situations and go out and do it. You're bold, you're courageous, you're able to do that, and that's a wonderful quality, because some people don't have that. They kind of hold back, and you're going out and you're living life, and that's wonderful, and that you can do that, because and so this 3 of Cups also kind of shows that, but it also shows you have community. You have people who you can work together and do things together. And so know that you have your community involved with you, and that your community's there with you. And you also have the World card too. And a lot of times the World card, means that you've kind of reached your goal, you've reached your pinnacle, you've reached the spiritual and emotional and worldly, kind of having it all, having the world in your hands kind of thing. But I think for this particular reading specifically, this World card just basically shows you have the whole world in your hands. You have the whole world at your fingertips. You've got your community. You've got, you know, your friendships, your partnerships, your knights who are able to go out and fight for you and work with you. You've got your unicorn partnerships. You've got your dragons, your griffins. You've got all of these people that are able to go out and do things with you, and you also have your emotional strength, your spiritual strength, and just know how strong you guys are. Wow, this is so amazing. It just keeps showing strength in so many different ways. That you guys are super strong, and that, you know, no matter what you go through in life, no matter what happens to you in life, you guys just get stronger. You guys just build up that strength and go on, and that is such a wonderful quality. I love it. And also with the red, you know, red is a fire energy, and so are the wands, and I really feel like you guys are very passionate souls, very fiery souls. That's where your strength, you know, you're just showing that strength and that passion and energy so much. You guys have that, and you guys just have that. You just keep going on. You just keep getting stronger and stronger and going on. And I think in this case, over the next 6 months, it's going to really help you guys out with some emotional turmoil, with some heartache, with some things that go on. But I think you're going to be able to just pick yourselves up, use your imagination, your strength, your fiery energy. I think it's mostly fiery energy you guys have. I think you guys just have that passion to go forward and move forward. And I think financially, this could be a really good 6 months for you. Maybe not right at first. I think it might take some time to build up, but I do think that if you just go out there with that passion that you guys have innately, that if you just go out there with that and get it and go get it, just be the go-getter you are. Be true to yourself. Be the person you are. If you do that, I think financially you're definitely going to be better off, and I think you're just going to be stronger. I think you're going to enjoy your community. I think you're going to enjoy living life. I think you're going to enjoy your friends and family. I also see with the World card here too, a little bit about your social relationships, your dealing with like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, your community. Your family, your friends, your church, wherever you have your community at, wherever your community resides, that is something that's going to get stronger over the next 6 months. And you're going to be able to tap into that energy. You're going to be able to utilize that energy and just make you stronger. And that might actually be also what helps you out financially too, because a lot of times community can help us do that. But I really feel like that's where you guys are heading in the next 6 months, is somewhat of a heartache happening, somewhat of some things not going your way, that kind of thing, but it's going to make you stronger, and you're going to be able to take that strength and move forward and I see a lot of richness coming to your life as far as strength goes. I feel a lot of strength and passion and boldness coming forward. If you don't feel like you've been that person before, if you don't feel like you're that strong, bold, passionate, go-getter kind of person, if you didn't feel that, then know that maybe this experience that you're getting ready to have is going to turn you into that person. That is going to help you move forward and be that strong, passionate person that this reading's talking about, because I really feel like that is you guys. And so if you don't think that you are that person, then maybe this experience will help move you towards that, because I really feel like that's where the next 6 months are going, is you being that bold, passionate, fiery, go-getter person out there. Okay? All right, I think that's all I have for pile 3 today, and I really hope this was useful to you. Please leave comments in the comments section, give the video a thumbs up, and share with your friends and family, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. And you guys are the ones who picked the yellow stone. And remember, this is on the next 6 months. Messages for you and things that might come up and things that to look forward to, that kind of thing. So let's see what messages we have. We have the sun. Oh, that's beautiful right off the bat. The tower. Oh, wow. Okay. And the death card, wow, that's the second time today that the Tower and the death card showed up in the same reading. There were two different cards of these, but interesting. The Chariot. And the Three of Pentacles, and this was, it's the Tarot of the Pagan Cats, but it's actually the Strength card, so we're going to use it as the Strength card this time. We've got the Six of Pentacles. I thought I'd taken those out, but I guess I didn't. The Ten of Swords. Wow. The Hanged Man. The Nine of Swords. Okay. For those of you who were attracted to this, if you were attracted to pile 1 as well, I believe it was pile 1. I think maybe you might want to look at that one because some of the same cards are coming up. So there might be some similar messages or some things to look at. We have the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Magician, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Okay then. All right. Wow. Okay. This is interesting because the Tower and the Death card, like I said, they showed up in another reading. It was either pile 1 or 2, but I think it was 1. That it was interesting that they both show up in the same reading because whenever that happens, it always just shows a very quick, very sudden, unexpected change happening or something ending. Okay? And it's interesting that these showed up that way. This is also the Six of Spades, which is a swords card, so it's another swords energy, and we have several swords here. Swords quite often deal with things that are going on in our heads, our thoughts, our ideas, what is the way we look at things, the way we look at the world, okay? And I feel like you guys right now, this even it hasn't even started the 6 months yet. This is like right now. You guys are in a state of despair. Okay, you just are. You guys have gone through the mill. You guys, we have the 9 and 10 of Swords energy here. This one, deals a lot with nightmares and worries, and because so many things have happened to you, so many things have gone on in your life. We have the 2 here, which is indecisions and choices and possibly problems and things like that. So we have the 2 of Swords, and we have these other swords energies here that basically, even the 7, which deals with change and conflict, and he's also kind of getting away with something, but it looks like there's also possibly a battle coming up, and that's why he's stealing the swords cards as well. So you guys have been going through this where you've had some issues, you've had some battles, you've had some other stuff happening. And what's great though about the 9 and 10 of Swords here is that's also the completion cycle. That's towards the end. So what I see here is that whatever has gone on recently or in the past 6 months, let's say, whatever has gone on that has made you just feel like you have gone through the ringer, you just aren't even sure where you're going anymore. You just are ready to be done. Okay, I feel like that's kind of the energy we have going here with this 9 and 10 of Swords. You're very anxious. You're very, very worried. You're having nightmares about things. You're having problems. You might even feel like it. But what's great is we have the 9 and 10 of Swords, so that shows that is now ready to be done. Okay, you can breathe a sigh of relief. You can go, okay, it's time for this to end. And that's where we've got the Tower and the Death card. A big change is getting ready to come up and flip things on their head. Things are getting ready to flip around. And that's also the Wheel of Fortune kind of shows that as well. Because the Wheel of Fortune deals with shifting of things. Like if you guys have been having really bad fortune, really problems, things, not sure what to do, you feel like, you've been downtrodden and stabbed 50 times and just, things are just not going the way you want. Now it's time for the wheel to change and flip because the Wheel of Fortune goes through different cycles of life, and so if you're on the down cycle, it's time to go on the up cycle. If you're on the up cycle, it might be time to go down. In this case, you guys are ready for this it's time for this to end. It's time for it to be finished. And that's also where the Hanged Man comes in too, because the Wheel of Fortune flips things around. The Hanged Man looks at things from a different perspective. And so I really feel like you guys, it's time for this energy to end. It's time for this to be flipped on its head and for you to see things in a new light, a new perspective, look at things differently, because you're ready to go on this journey here. We have the Strength card, which shows how strong you are. We have the Three of Pentacles, which shows you have community and friends and people. And then we have the Chariot, which always shows a journey, a movement, going forward, knowledge. And so it's time to move this forward, go on this journey, because the first thing that came up was the Sun card. The sun is getting ready to come out and shine, because we have the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning of new ideas, new thoughts, new feelings, thinking of things differently, new ideas, maybe creative things, new knowledge. You have power. You have power and strength, new knowledge. You've gained new knowledge now, and that's where the Hangman comes in too. You might learn something. The Tower and the Death card might actually, in the Wheel of Fortune, might actually mean that something comes around and you've actually learned something that you didn't know before. Excuse me. Something might come up that you didn't expect, that you didn't think was going to happen, or new knowledge will come to you, and it might even come to you in a dream, because I keep seeing kind of dreams with this Nine of Swords card. It might even come to you in a dream. It might be new knowledge that way. And because of that, you're going to be able to see things from a new perspective, and it is time to see things from a new perspective. Because we also have the Six of Pentacles, which is kind of a joyous card. It's also kind of a sun joyous, it's a bountiful card, and they're able to give out their wealth to others because things have come forward and been so abundant for them. And that's what the Sun card is about too. It's about abundance. We also have the Magician, which the Magician very much is a manifestation card. So you can create your own reality, because I feel like you guys are kind of stuck in this reality here, this nightmarish reality of the 9 and the 10. You're kind of stuck in that energy. But you have the Magician, and this one's beautiful. She's got this beautiful dragon and all that. But magicians can manifest and do anything that they want. They can create the world that they want. And you guys have your magic wand right here with the Ace of Wands. Okay, it's right here. It's being handed to you. You can take it. It's there. It's available to you. So whatever you want in this world and you want in this life, it is being given to you. It's being handed to you. It is, the knowledge is being passed to you. Okay, and you can do that because you have the Magician card, so you can manifest what you want. You don't need to be in this energy where you're worried about things constantly, you're thinking bad thoughts, because remember, a lot of times what happens in our life, if we're thinking bad things, sometimes that's all that we'll see is bad things. But if we're thinking of the sun, and we're thinking of how that feels when it's on our skin, and how warm fulfilling it is, and how cheerful things are when the sun's out, when we think about those things, then all of a sudden things start looking a little bit better. If you've ever noticed that when it's cloudy outside, things look kind of gray and dull, and sometimes you don't even see things very well or very clearly because the sun's not out, the sun's not shining. But when the sun comes out and it shines on things, all of a sudden the world looks different. Things are more clear. You can see things that maybe you didn't see before. Things are crisper. Things look renewed and regenerated, especially like after a rainstorm. You might even see like the rain drops being all shimmery and beautiful and bright instead of, downtrodden and things like rain might be. So the sun puts a whole new light and a whole new perspective on things. And so I feel like that's kind of where you guys are headed over the next 6 months is needing to see things from a different perspective, not just being able to, but needing to. I really feel like you guys need to get out of the one energy that you're in and now go through and change your perspective and take what's being offered, because knowledge and ideas and power is being offered to you. Those the universe wants you to have it. It's being offered to you. It's there. Might even be literally being offered to you, like if it's a new job or things like that. But something is being offered to you, and it's time for you to listen to that and pay attention to that, and look at things from a different angle and manifest what you truly want, because you have the ability to have it. We have the celebratory Six of Pentacles and the Sun card, and the Strength card. So you have the strength. The Wheel of Fortune's ready to turn and flip in your favor, and flip around. You have your community. You have the Chariot. That's the going forward energy. That's the moving forward energy. And that's where the next 6 months is leading you, is moving you forward in your journey, moving you forward on, because I kind of feel like a lot of you have been stuck. Like, you know, this card shows the stuckness. You're stuck to the ground. You know, he's not going anywhere. He's not moving. He's stuck. And I feel like you guys are in that energy right now where you feel stuck. But the Chariot energy is the unstuck part. It's going to be able to move forward. And look, we have beautiful peacocks. It's going, you know, the kitten is right there, ready on his chariot. Okay, I'm going places, I'm doing things, and that is the energy you guys are heading towards now, is the movement. Because we also have the Wheel of Fortune with the dragon, and she's flying through the air. This Wheel of Fortune is moving. They are, you know, movement is the name of the game here. Movement forward, especially. Is where you guys are at. A lot of movement, a lot of new knowledge, a lot of new power coming your way. And so that is where the next 6 months is going. So if you've been stuck in this energy, and I really feel like that's just where you guys are at. You guys are stuck in this, you know, not seeing things clearly, not showing what direction to go in, not sure what's happening. Things are being stolen out from under you. Your life, mostly. That's what I feel like. Your life is being stolen out from under you, because you feel like you can't live your life. You feel like you can't go on because it's been stolen. You're stuck in place, and because of that, you keep being stuck there. You're stuck in your own nightmare, and now it's time to move forward away from that. It's time to go on. Take what's being offered, go towards the sun, go towards the light, go towards the Six of Pentacles energy. The Wheel of Fortune's flipping in your favor now. That's where the 6 months needs to go forward now. That's where you need to head, okay? I really hope that this was useful information for you guys and that you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 5, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the Black Onyx Rainbow colored stone here. And remember, these are messages for the next 6 months of either messages that might be useful or things that might come along. So let's see what we've got. Okay, we start off with the hostilities, fidelity, lilies, the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, okay, the Eight of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Strength card, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Moon card, and the Ten of Wands. Alrighty. Well, I kind of, at first, I initially got that there might be early on some arguments, some disappointments with people that you care about, your significant other, loved ones, things like that. The hostilities kind of came through clear that way. And it was interesting because the Five of Cups here is usually a card that's kind of showing that there's things that they want and they're not getting them, and they're also not seeing what's there. But I feel like in this case, it's kind of an emotional. Uh, Maybe we'll have some arguments, some fights, some problems, some emotional issues. I don't see them as being huge. I just see them as maybe just quarrelsome type things. Just things just aren't real happy there for a while. You're a lot of fighting, a lot of fussing, maybe stupid little arguments, things like that. And I see, your emotional happiness might be just a little bit tipsy-turvy at first and a little bit. But I also see that this person will probably offer a peace offering of some sort. I kind of see that with the Lily card a little bit, because I always think, sometimes when people want to make up, they give flowers and say, oh, hey, I'm sorry, kind of thing. But also, this deals with purity and honor and wisdom and maturity. And so I feel like there will be a maturity that goes on with this. Like, okay, these are little minor skirmishes and fights. And it might just be that you guys are just kind of frustrated with things, and it's easy to fight, and it's easy to have these little disagreements. You get on each other's nerves. Sometimes that happens. But I really feel, we've got the fidelity here, and you see how this dog is not leaving by, this person's side. and so it's very much a loyalty kind of thing. And so I feel like whatever fusses and fighting and other things going on, this person is very loyal to you and will make up with you, and you'll have that kind of energy going on. I also kind of feel like I saw this Knight here of Wands, and I kept thinking of Knight in shining armor, coming to the rescue. So I almost feel like you're going to think that you're going to think of this person kind of like your Knight in shining armor again, because I think maybe you've thought of them in the past that way. I think that this person or somebody's going to come into your life who's going to help with these hostilities or other problems, or be very faithful to you, that kind of thing. It's one or the other. But I really feel, okay, because Knight of Wands, they're very charming, they're the hero, they can be hot-tempered and free spirits, and so this might be the person probably is the person you're having the hostilities with, but they're also very courageous and just full of, they're very much heroic and courage and that kind of thing, and so, they're your hero kind of person, and I feel like, so don't let these fights and fusses and other things affect you too badly, because they are not that big of a deal, okay? They're not that big of a problem. It's not like it can cause a breakup or that kind of thing, because I really don't see that here in the next 6 months. I really don't see that you need to break up or be upset or have things like that. We do have the Two of Wands, which generally is a contemplative kind of card. It's about decisions. It also could be about passions and energies and fiery spirit kind of things coming up, and hostilities deals with that too. So there might be some fights and fusses between the two of you, even with this card, but it also might mean that there's a decision to be made, or, so maybe there's some decisions going on, and maybe that's what you've been fighting about. Maybe one of you wants to do one thing, one of you wants to do something else, that kind of thing. But you know what? You have both the Emperor and the Queen of Cups here, and these can work so well together. You notice how the Emperor, he's got his little kittens here, and, the Queen of Cups, she's got everything she needs. She's got her fish, and these two can work very well together, and I kind of see this energy between the two of you. Don't be on your separate thrones, I want this, I want that kind of energy. This is more of a coming together, bringing things together energy, because we have these other types of cards that can do that too. And I see the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune lots of times means things kind of turning around, or things moving in the turn of the season. So okay, if you're in this fighting, fussing mode early on in the 6 months and throughout the 6 months part of it, you guys do have the Wheel of Fortune, so you can change that around. It can kind of flip around. You have strength, which is great. Uh, you see how in this strength, one is not overpowering the other, but they are being loving with each other. And I think that's kind of the key here for the two of you, is that you need to be loving to each other, and rely on your strength of you being together, of the two of you together. You're stronger together than you are apart. That's very much true. And I think that you would be happier if you can work this out and be closer together, because I feel like that's kind of the theme for the next 6 months, is that there's lots of fighting, lots of fussing, and that you need and want to get past that, and you can. You have the strength to do that. The loving relationship. You have the lilies, which is kind of the peace offering. You have the fidelity and the closeness and the loyalty that you have for each other. You have the knight in shining armor image of what you guys feel for each other. And the Emperor and the Queen of Cups, they each have their own mission in the world and their own things that they are in charge of. And if you guys learn to work that out, and each of you being in control of what you're in control of, I think that will be very helpful. Because I think that that's useful. We also have the Knight of Swords, and this particular knight, she, instead of going off and charging into war or whatever, you notice how she's kind of taming this dragon. She's got it wrapped around this tree, and she's hugging up against it. And that kind of goes along with the strength card here, of opposites working together for a common goal, being closer together, taking your differences and merging them into one thing that's helpful and useful and that can go on. I think that that's kind of the theme for the next 6 months, is merging these things together, of going along the path together and merging that. Because we do have some emotional things with the Moon card. This also has to deal a little bit with uncertainty, or things being unclear. You might not be certain about where things are going, and especially in relationship, I really feel like this is a very relationship-driven 6 months. This is where your focus is on in the 6 month, is very much relationship-driven. And I feel like home and family are important here, and I feel like you're just not sure what decisions to make, what path to go on. Things are still kind of unmuddied and unclear. You're not sure where things are going. We do have the 7 and an 8 of Pentacles, and these deal with a lot of hard work, and also reaping the rewards of the hard work too. The 7 of Pentacles is very much kind of reaping what you've worked towards. The 8 is kind of, okay, yeah, you're working really hard, but you're about ready to complete your task. And so I feel like there's going to be some hard work coming on in the 6 months. You're going to have to work really hard at this relationship. You're going to have to work at healing things, getting your strength, finding your way in this relationship and going forward. But we do have the 10 of Wands, and the 10s are a completion card. They're okay, we're able to get to the end, to the wish fulfillment energy. And with the Wands, it deals with your passions and your spirit and what you care about. And by being the 10, I think it's very much of, okay, we're able, you see how they're together, okay, they're crossed, they have their horns crossed, so it could be an adversarial thing, but it's more of, each of us has our own place. Each of us has our own place, and that's what I feel and see here with this, is that each of you have your own place in this relationship. Each of you have your own things that you bring to it, and strengths that you bring to it, and abilities, and that if you work together with those, that is going to be where you can reap the benefits of this. It is going to take some work on your part. It is going to take some effort, but I think that's where your focus is going to be over the next 6 months. It's going to be on your relationship. It's going to be, whatever. And I already feel like you guys are already starting to be in this energy a little bit. You guys are already kind of there, so you know what relationship I'm talking about right off the bat. Whatever relationship this happens to be, that is where your focus is going to be on the next 6 months. That there's liable to be some emotional upheavals and upset and fighting and hostilities and anger and things going on there, but that there's more to this than that. There's the strength involved, the wheel of fortune. There's other things. There's some hidden things here that maybe you didn't see. There's some hidden emotions. There's some hidden things are kind of foggy. And you're just not, things aren't really clear at first. Early on in the 6 months, especially the first 3-4 months of this, things are just unclear. You're just not sure where things are going. You're not sure. There might even be some secrets, some hidden things that's kind of indicated in this card a little bit here too, because it's a fidelity card, where you get the idea, in this case, fidelity means loyalty and never wavering from your, even with the separation, they're still loyal to them. But it also, fidelity also means in English, for a lot of people, it means, whether somebody's going to cheat on you or be with somebody else instead of you and that kind of thing. And so there might be some mystery stuff going on. You may not be sure of their true feelings or what they think about you or what's going on. But I think that's going to get resolved. I think the Lily card kind of shows that. It's the King of Spades, which is the King of Swords. And the King, he has very high standards, and he's very moral. And so I feel like that morality is going to come back through, and things will get more clear, and you'll understand that the knight in shining armor whole image is going to come back into play. So that's good news. That's good news to know that, okay, things might be a little rough and rocky and emotionally turmoil at first, and it's going to take some work and some effort, but it's worth the work and the effort. It's worth that to come back together into a union, get that knight in shining armor back into your life, get that. Things will clear up a little bit. Your fortune will change some. Things will move on to the next season. Things won't be so tough, because then we have the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles, where we can kind of harvest some of that hard work, some of the things that we've done. We can actually pull it forward and go, hey, yeah, I did all this work, and now look, I get to reap the benefits of that. And I think that's where you guys are going to be by the end of the 6 months. It's definitely ready to reap the benefits of all the hard work and everything you've gone through throughout the 6 months. And I think it's going to be a nice, fulfilling journey when the time comes, but it's going to be a little rocky there for a while. It's going to be a little rough. But know there's going to be some work involved, but know that it's worth it, and that you have the strength to get through the work. You have the strength it takes to get through that. All right, I think that's all I have for Pile 5 today. I really hope this was useful to you. I'd like for you to give the video a thumbs up and to share it with your friends and family. Leave comments in the comment section, and we'll see you in future videos. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 6, and welcome to your reading. You guys are the ones who chose kind of the brown tan striped stone here. Almost has a reddish color too, but it's mostly brown and purpley. Okay, remember this reading is on the next 6 months, and advice and thoughts and what might come forward for you here. So let's see what we've got. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. We have loss, man, the hermit, the devil, the 9 of cups, the sun, the 7 of swords, sorry, the fool, the high priestess, move everything up here a little bit. The Three of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Okay, give me just a second here. I'm not sure where we're going here. We've got lots of different energies going on here. We've got things dealing with money and things dealing with desires and emotional desires and other things going on there. And so I'm trying to figure in my head here, I'm trying to get the messages to come through of where we might be going here. There might be several things going on in the next 6 months. That might be what's happening here. And I'm having a little trouble pulling it all through. So let's hope just a second here. Okay. I think we've got, I noticed we got the Devil card here and the second chakra. The second chakra deals with our sexual pleasures, abundance, our well-being, pleasures, those kinds of things. And we also have lots of Pentacle cards, which also deal with pleasures, abundance, those things going on here. We also have a loss here, and they're showing kind of a gambling sort of loss. And I kind of feel like maybe some of you guys might take a chance on the stock market, or you might be tempted to do something with your money that's rather foolish, or you hadn't thought it through maybe, or you weren't exactly sure where to go with it. And I feel like it's with money. I feel like this is dealing a lot with your money, and I feel like the Devil is kind of showing that you have a temptation to do something with it, and you might suffer a loss because of it. You might take a gamble, and it might not turn out the way you would like. It's interesting how this card, you can't really see it here, but he's playing, looks like maybe 21, but he has an Ace of Hearts here. And this Man card also has the Ace of Hearts. And the aces are new beginnings, new starts, new things. And hearts deal with, it's the Cups card. So it deals with your emotion, relationships, that kind of thing. So I think for some of you, you might have a new relationship starting with those hearts kind of showing up in these cards. It's kind of interesting how that kind of twisted around there a little bit. I feel like you might have a little bit of a loss in finances, especially early on. I don't think it's going to last, though. I think, you might have taken a gamble. You might have taken that risk. You might have had some losses to deal with very early on in the 6 months, very early on, maybe even starting right now from when you're listening. We have a few things going on there, but I also feel like you might be starting new romances or new relationships, new things that maybe even the loss has kind of led to that or will lead to that. So it's kind of interesting how one thing might lead to another. I also might feel like your loss might deal with, you feel like somebody stole something from you or took something from you, or that you're afraid somebody is going to take something from you, because we have the Seven of Swords energy, which deals with worrying about somebody getting away with something, stealing something from you, the thief kind of energy. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles, which is the hoarding kind of energy of afraid somebody's going to take something you have. So it's possible that you did suffer a loss recently, or you are going to suffer a loss, and because of that, you feel like somebody took it from you, or you're afraid things are going to be taken away from you, or you feel like you need to tighten the belt, hoard things because you did lose some money there for a while. So I think you might have this whole, if you lose things for a little while, you're going to feel like you have to hold on to your money very tightly after that you can't just go around spreading it out freely and going around with it, because you did lose some at some point. So that's kind of what these cards are kind of saying. But we also still have that new relationship coming forward, that new, I also think it also might deal with your subconscious and your imagination and your intuition, because I feel like you guys have some great intuition that you can deal with. We have the Three of Wands, which is very good for that. The Six of Cups also deals a lot with your intuition, and six is kind of a celebratory card. And also we have the Wolf on this one, and wolves are very intuitive kind of energy. They know a lot. Also we have the Hermit card, where maybe once you suffer this loss a little bit, it might be a good idea to kind of retreat just a little bit, go back, think through things, kind of withdraw into yourself, get that knowledge of what you should do, where you should go next. The Hermit is very much, it might actually, somebody might actually come into your life that's actually kind of the Hermit figure. Might actually be this somebody who can mentor you, because I think you're kind of the traveler in this situation. So I think you're gonna maybe have somebody come along and help mentor you, and help do that. But you also have this creativity flowing going on here. We also have the Nine of Cups, which is another intuitive imagination energy. And you notice how in this card they're on top of their pedestal here, and they've got the cups all surrounding them, and she's just high up there. And usually the Nine of Cups is kind of a celebratory card, kind of getting ready to celebrate and deal with that. We also have the High Priestess, which is another intuition card. So I really feel like if you guys follow your intuition, especially after this loss happens, this actually might have just happened right now already. So you're kind of in the hoarding mode and into the tightening mode. So now it might be a good idea to follow your intuition to go forward from that loss. Follow your intuition, because it's not going to steer you wrong. I think that if you've already gone through the loss, or if you go through it very early on in the 6 months, that once that's happened, you can use your intuition to help you out and get you where you need to go. Because we also have the Knave of Pentacles, and the knaves are the knights, and the knights are the ones who bring back the spoils of war. They're the ones who go out and get the riches. They're the ones who go out and fight for the things. And so I think that that's where you're heading towards, along with the Sun card. I think you have, it might even be somebody in your life that's actually going to be able to go do this for you. It might not even be you, which is a little bit different and interesting. But we have the Knight of Pentacles, that they are, look, if there's somebody in your life that comes forward. Matter of fact, I think it might have to do with this love relationship that's coming forward. Like I said, there's two different things going on in this reading, so they kind of get jumbled up a little bit. But I think, because I think they're intertwined. I think one might have to do with the other, or you might meet this person because of the one thing, or because of finances. I think they're kind of intertwined. I think that's why the messages keep getting jumbled up here. But we have this Knave of Pentacles energies, and what they are is, these type of people are practical, they're reliable, they're efficient, they're steady, they're hard workers, they're patient. And if you have lost income or money, you might need this kind of person in your life that's going to help steady you, that's going to help steady this full energy, that's going to help do that. So I really feel like a new relationship is going to come into your life, and it's going to have to do with your finances, or come about because of your finances. So it may be a financial relationship, or it may be your love relationship that happened because of your finances. It could be either one. But I think you're going to have a relationship start and happen, that's going to blossom throughout this 6-month period, because of the things that have happened with your finances, and because of your energy, your gambler energy, that you have. And this person's going to be very grounding for you. They're going to help you be able to do that. They're the earthly type energy. They're the Virgos and the Taurus and Capricorn type energies. So, if any of those people come into your life, that might be who we're talking about. We also have the Queen of Swords. And this person's honest, principles, independent. They can give constructive criticism. They're objective. So I think that they might have both of these energies together because those complement each other really, really well. So I think that they, practical and down to earth, but also, honest and principled and objective, and have that kind of energy involved with them as well. And so, and those could be Libras, Aquarius, or Geminis. I see more of the Libra foundation here more so than the Aquarius and Geminis with that, though. Okay, so that also gets us to the Sun card, which I think that this person's going to bring a lot of sun onto your life and kind of bring the sun back out and make things feel better for you. So if you feel like something's been taken from you or stolen, or somebody's getting away with something, or that you have to, or that you don't have what you had before, because I think that is either coming up very soon or just has happened. Know that somebody's going to come into your life related to this that's going to kind of help you with this and help ground you, help you get more stable towards a celebratory type of energy. But going off into yourself and helping yourself out with this is very important. So you might not meet this person early on. It might take a little farther into the 6 months before that happens, because you also need to get in touch with yourself, and you also need to kind of deal with what's happened and think on it and meditate on it and get some wisdom involved in that. But you definitely have somebody coming into your life that's going to help with this and help bring things into perspective, help settle you down a little bit. They can either be a financial partner, life partner, love partner, any of those things, all of those things together. It depends on the individual here, what's going on. But at first, no, you might have been or might be tempted into being a little bit foolish, a little bit reckless. And you might lose some finances and things because of that, but it's temporary. Somebody's going to come into your life to help out with that. Okay, so I really hope that this is helpful to you. I know it's a little worrisome to go, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose something, or but I think a lot of you already have kind of gone through this, or you're already in the midst of all this, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. And for the few of you that it's still to come, just know that like if you lose money in a gambling game, like like. I'm not saying that's how you're going to lose the money, but I'm just using that as a example or a way to go. Just know that if you lose money in a gambling game or a game of cards, it doesn't mean you've lost everything. It doesn't mean you don't have anything left over. It doesn't mean that it's done, it's over. What it means is that you've lost something. That you may not have everything that you started out with at first. And that's kind of where the thief and the hoarding energy comes in. So you might have to contract for a little while. You might have to go contract inwards, and that's where the Hermit card comes from. But we do have the Sun card, which is a very beautiful message of youthful energy and environment and abundance and those kinds of things. So just know that this is not going to last, and it's not permanent, and it's not even all of your riches or all of your money or all that you have. So let's say you were on unemployment. Maybe you've lost a job and you've been on unemployment, and the amount of your unemployment drops, or you don't qualify for unemployment anymore, or something like that. So then you lose your money. That's kind of an example. Or so yeah, you're gonna have to tighten things up. It might be a little harder. Your finances, you might not have as much finances as you had before. You might have to look at new ways to do things. Maybe you take a gamble on something. Maybe you decide to play the stock market, and that particular stock doesn't do very well, and so you lose your money. Or you put your money into an investment into somebody that came along and said, hey, I want to go do this, and you're like, okay, sure, fine, and you put your money towards it, and then it didn't work out very well. The business folded, or the idea didn't take off, and so you lost some of your money that way. There's all these different examples of different things that could happen, or different ways that this could happen. And there's a myriad of them. Those are just a few examples. But that just gives you an idea of the kinds of things that we're talking about. It's not something that is going to totally break you. It's not something that you're not going to be able to get out of. It's not something you're not going to be able to work through. It's just a little bit of a setback. It's a little bit, you know, things happen and you learn from them. But what's really great about it though is that this person's coming into your life because of this. And that is kind of cool, because it's neat that how fate happens, where some things happen and, you know, one door closes, another one opens, kind of thing. And because I think this person's going to be very good for you in your life. They're going to be very helpful to you, financially, maybe, probably, emotionally, possibly, you know, lots of different ways. And so I think this person is going to be very good for you, and I think you're going to meet them because of this situation. So it's kind of cool that, you know, sometimes we go through something that we consider, oh my gosh, look what's happened here. And we're not always sure about how good that is, but then look, we've got somebody cool coming into your life because of it. So that's like something to look really forward to here. I think that's all I have for pile 6 today. I hope this reading was very useful to you and that you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends and family, and leave comments. And we'll see you for future videos. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 7, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the clear rainbowy stone here. And remember that this is on the next 6 months and what you can expect in messages for you and that kind of thing. So let's see what we've got going here. All right, we got deceit, desire, crossroads, the moon, the Queen of Cups, the 10 of Wands, the Judgment card, the Knave of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, the Magician, the Ace of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the King of Cups, and the 2 of Wands. Okay, right away I see there's a decision that you're going to be making coming up within the next 6 months. There's going to be something that you need to decide on, something, different paths that you can take. And part of that is because something might be coming to an end. Your journey with the 10 of Wands here, you might have finished your work in one area with one thing. You might have finished up one thing, and so now it might be time to go forward and make a decision. I also kind of see where you're not sure what decision to make or how to move forward, because that's kind of depicted with the 8 of Swords here. I feel like you guys want something. That's where the desire is coming from. There's something you really want. You're looking out very wistfully towards something, and you're just not sure which way to go. You're afraid you can't have it. Okay? I think you're worried that you can't have it, and you're at a crossroads in your life, and you're just not sure which direction to take. Okay? You're very much just at the point of indecision. Okay, I feel like you guys feel kind of trapped, kind of stuck. You're longing for something and you're just not sure which direction to go in. As a matter of fact, some of you might feel like you don't have a choice. Some of you might think you're kind of stuck where you're at and that's where you're staying. I kind of feel that with the 5 of Pentacles here. I feel like you guys feel like you're stuck, you're trapped in this mode. But look at the 5 of Pentacles. This one, you know, they're in front of a church. Help is in there. Help is available, and help is available to you, and you do have a choice, and you can make a decision. You can go forward. You can get what you need in this life. So even though you have a decision to make, and you're at a crossroads, you're not stuck. You know, you guys have great imaginations and great, I feel like you guys just are wonderful with intuition. I feel like your intuition is so strong. I feel like you have that moon energy that's shown on the card here, because we have these wolves on these Five of Cups and King of Cups. And I just think that the wolves here all kind of, matter of fact, some of you guys, the wolves might be kind of your spirit animal, because wolves showed up a lot in this reading here. And I kind of feel like they are the ones who, they have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of ancient knowledge. They're very mystical, very mysterious, and they have all this knowledge. And I feel like you guys have that. I think you're deceiving yourself. I think that's what the deceit is all about. I think you're deceiving yourself that you can't have what you want. I think you're stuck in worrying that you can't go forward, you can't move backward, you can't go anywhere, and that you're bound up. And I think you're deceiving yourself in that, because you can move forward, you can get some things that you want. I think you're being you've got Judgment card here, but this one was interesting because it's in the Cat Tarot, and you almost get the idea of they have been practicing maybe some spiritual or mystical arts or something, and the heavens are looking down on them, and they feel like maybe that's the wrong path, or that's not where they want to go. So I think maybe some of you guys have been dabbling more in spirituality, have been heading more towards learning your spiritual self, tapping into your intuition, your spiritual gifts, maybe some psychic abilities, some other things like that. I really feel like you guys maybe have a lot of that going for you, and maybe you've been tapping into that, and maybe you're afraid of being judged for that, or people aren't going to appreciate that or look on you as that's not a very favorable thing. And you have this great desire to go for that, and I think that that's something you're going to be grappling with over the next several months. I think that's something you're going to learn to deal with and decide what to do. But you have it's so great what you have here. You have the Magician card, which the Magician can manifest and create anything he wants. And you guys do have this ability. You guys have, I keep hearing psychic. You guys have psychic abilities. You guys have spiritual abilities, spiritual gifts. You have things that can help you along in your journey. And you're just starting to discover those, and you're afraid to go down that path, and you think you're stuck going down the more worldly path. But I really feel like you guys might want to be going that way more. And if you have that strong urge to do so, I really feel like you should do that. You have the Knave of Wands here, and the Wands deals very much with your spirit and those kinds of passions and ideas, and your spirit, what comes out of us through spirit. And being the Knave, that is the Knight, that is the one who is going to be able to bring that spirit to you, okay? And I think that you can do that. Being the Wands card, it's very much, I feel like it's very much the creativity flowing through you, the spirituality flowing through you, the abilities. I think you're starting to awaken to your abilities, and you're afraid of the judgment that's going to entail. But we have the Ace of Cups, which is the full abundance card. It is the full, getting everything that you want card. It's also the new beginnings, a new start. So I feel like this kind of embodies the whole thing that you're going through, that you're working towards during the 6 months, is the whole idea of your spiritual awakenings. You're learning what you have spiritually, what you're overflowing with spiritually, and it also can bring your fulfillment, your emotional fulfillment into your life that you want, because the Queen of Cups kind of represents that as well. The Queen of Cups is very much compassionate. She's got lots of intuition, like these other cards are showing, and she gives you a lot of support, but she's also embodiment of what her suit means. And the Cups card is very emotional, very much what you want in this life, very much what you would like to have, what will make you emotionally happy. And I think following your intuition and your spiritual gifts is what's going to make you happy. So I'm thinking that that is the crossroads you guys are at. That is where you guys are, what you're dealing with right now, where you're deciding where to go, uh, which way you've got to go. But the cards show a lot of, because you got the King of Cups as well. Once again, the embodiment of your emotional stability, but also your intuition and what you know about things. The 5 energies are kind of a change energy, and I feel like you guys are going through this change. You guys are going through this, because you have the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups, and I feel like you guys are going through a transition in your life. You're awakening to your spirituality. You're learning your spirituality. You're deciding what to do with it, or whether you should do anything with it or not. You're finding out how intuitive you are, how much spiritual abilities you have. You're starting to learn these things, and that's a change for you guys. That's a big change in your life. It's something you haven't really gone through much before, only in very small amounts, and these cards show so much of this ability in you, this intuition, this spiritual ability, this psychic ability, this all these different gifts that are just flowing through you. They're just there, and I think you're deceiving yourself if you think that you can go through life without utilizing them now that you're being awakened to them. Okay, I think that now that you know that this is happening, now that this is something that is starting to become, you're starting to become aware of it through the Knave of Wands here. You're starting to learn that, and now that you are, I feel like you can't really get away from it now. Okay, you can't. That's almost the stuck energy again. You can't get away from it. You know about it now. And I think that that's hard for you guys. You want to blind yourselves to it. You want to close yourselves off. You might be a little scared of it. You might be, like I said, I think you guys are afraid of judgment, or you are judging yourselves, or you are judging these things kind of harshly. And so I think that that's something that you're going to have to work through for the next 6 months. It's something you're going to have to work with. But I really feel like it's great. We have a 22 on this card as well, which is, twos are energies of choices, and you've got it doubled, but it's also a magical spiritual number. It's a master number, 22, and 22s are very much the they have lots of spiritual ability and lots of other stuff like that. So I really feel like that just shows so much that you guys have that, and it's showing in so many of these cards. And I can't stress enough that you guys are going to figure out which path you want to walk on in this earth, and you're at a crossroads in your life right now, and that the next 6 months is going to be focusing on that, and that you're going to be dealing with that throughout the whole 6 months. It's going to be a big, huge part of your life. You're going to be awakening to your new powers. You're going to be deciding what to do with them, where to go with it, how to deal with it, how to work that out in your life, because it's kind of a scary thing. Sometimes we don't know these things early on in our lives, and then when we do find out about it, we're like, oh, well, I'm not even sure I really even believe in that, let alone be able to do anything with it. Or you might go, gee, I've never shown anything before. Why would I all of a sudden be showing anything now? And so I'm thinking you're not really totally believing it yourself. You don't really totally grasp the whole concept. I think you're just thinking, I don't even know. But I really feel like you've had the urge to really explore this lately and learn about it, because you are in that awakening period. You are in that. And so I think that that's going to be a big focus over the next 6 months, is dealing with that. It's up to you how you deal with it, or where you want to go with it, or what you want to use it for, or if you want to use it, or if you just want to ignore it or forget about it. It's up to you how you do that, but I think that that's going to be something you're going to be dealing with for the next 6 months, is making those decisions and learning what you can do and what you can't do, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So I think that you're going to be going through a lot of that over the next 6 months. You're going to be really trying to figure your whole life out, because I think you're for a major toppling of maybe your belief system even. I really feel like that's true for a lot of you, that you're just not even sure what you believe in anymore. You're just like, whoa. But do know that, something, I think it's, the Ten of Wands here is showing the end and the completion, but I think it's showing the end of your innocence or your unknowing or your doubt about your spiritual ability, because the Wands is a spiritual card. And so I think that that is coming to an end, and I think that that is where the new beginnings, the Ace of Cups, comes from. So yeah, that's just where you guys are at. I really hope that this is useful to you, and I hope that, I'm not scaring you guys too much, because, I think you guys are already kind of starting to go through this a little bit. So I think maybe you're a little nervous, but I think you do know about it. I do think it's something you've already maybe started to be aware of up to this point. You're just going to have to start dealing with it more out in the open now. Okay. I hopefully this was useful to you, because I know this is really hard when this happens. I kind of went through it a little bit myself, so I sort of know. And if you guys need any help about anything, feel free to reach out to the community, me, anybody else in the community, through the chat down in the comment section. If you need that kind of help, it's there for you. We can kind of help you work through it. Just be there to listen to you, because I think sometimes that's really useful. You can kind of get things out. My email address is in the description. You can write to me personally if you wish, and private message me or whatever, so we can go through that if you need to. Okay. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Do leave comments in the comment section. Share with your friends and family, and we'll see you for future videos. Bye bye.